Oh, hang on a sec. Okay, you guys can see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I'll look at pound dollar. Okay, so I'll just look at the monthly first just to see the overall picture since till the end of the month as well. So what I can see on the monthly is that it's on a downtrend overall, but really on the sideways or consolidation range, because we draw this downtrend line right here, which is the primary downtrend line. It's actually been broken from this point to this point here. So if I move it from this point to this point, here, it's also been broken there. So I can safely put it here at the moment, since this month is a down month, or sellers are in control. And so that will be our primary downtrend line based on the monthly. And on the upside, our uptrend line will be this and here as well. So, so what we can see nicely here is that this month's candle just nicely fill up the void in this triangle right here. It's nicely touching this uptrend line right here. Not fill up the void yet. There's still some more. So 1, 2, 3, maybe 3 more months to decide whether it will break to the upside or break and close to the downside. So what I can also see is that it's also at a very good demand level. Okay, so I can see this consolidating as well within two areas, or ranging between two price areas. I'll just take this low right here, and also just a recent high there as well. So you can see here it's in a consolidation range, ranging between the supply and demand level. Just at equilibrium point will be this area here. So just broke. This month's candle just broke the equilibrium point and heading towards these demand levels here as well. It may also settle and just close above this uptrend line right here, since really it's also forming higher lows right here as well. So this low right here finishes like that is still higher compared to these lows right here, and also compared to these lows right here as well. With regards to the highs are slightly lower. So this high here is lower compared to this high here and to this high right here as well. So, but it's within a consolidation range based on the monthly. This stochastic still got room to drop. It's about the 50%, with the percent K just touching the 50% at the moment. Okay, so let's move on to the weekly chart. Okay, the weekly chart, just clear evidence there of the consolidation phase between the supply and demand level. I'll just remove. Okay, so based on the weekly, the highs though is quite different. The high here is high compared to that high, and this high right here, so a slight increase here of the highs. And there's also an increase of the lows as well. So if it finishes like this at the end of the week, this high here is still higher compared to this, this low here is still higher compared to these lows right here as well. However, what we can see is that sellers are pretty much in control. That's just a breather. 2, 3, 4 weeks in a row, and what we can see here as well with the this week's candle is that if it finishes like this at the end of the week, it's forming a hammer formation, and it could be a good sign. It may do something like this, and may also do a possibility of forming a method 2. So if we measure the amount of drops or pips that it dropped in previous candles, I measured from here to here, it actually dropped over 1,000 pips. And if I measured from here to here, also went up over 1,000 pips. From here to here, it dropped over just under 500 pips. And then when it started to recover, it also recovered just about above the 500 pips. So if we measure also the amount of pips that dropped from this top here, this low right here, if it settles like this, that should drop about 670 pips. So if it decides to go to the upside, then we have a potential 670 pips to the upside as well, just to about, let's say, the 6350 price area, somewhere around there. So just to again create a higher high, this area here. So this is a very good potential. Stochastics wise, it's also in the oversold area. Would be nice if it will have a crossover there. But if it closes like this as a hammer, then that's a good sign to probably go to the upside. So if you look at the daily chart, yesterday buyers were in control, closed as a very good piercing pattern that we call here, but it's also a harami because it actually closed within the high and the low of the previous red candle. Overall, sellers are still pretty much in control. Also a very good demand level here, so clear evidence of very good demand levels right here. But there's also further demand levels here as well. So my strategy with this one, it's in the oversold area, which is also good with a nice crossover. My strategy with this is that if I draw my downtrend line from the daily, so this will be our primary from the daily or secondary. Be nice to see this break because sellers are still pretty much very strong. This could only be also be a stabilization retracement, small retracement before it may continue to the downside. So if it breaks this downtrend line right here and also closes above the 8 and the 10, that will be a more stronger confirmation for me to buy back in for that change of direction to the upside. So probably another 1 or 2 more days just to see some form of direction. Any questions with the pound dollar?
Okay, feedback, please, Anthony or Harry.
So you're looking to trade this on the daily chart?
Yes, I do.
More
probably for a longer term, but also based on the weekly, if I can see, so it's medium to long term, short to medium term. So on the weekly, if I can see this candle right here forming a doji, green most preferably, then that's a good sign for me to go to the upside.
Okay. No questions for me.
Okay, so will you enter now and or not yet?
Not yet. I can enter a small position just to test the waters, so maybe a micro lot, maybe 2 micro lots or something like that. Still a very good M1. Risk is very small. Just take the low of this candle right here since overall it's on a downtrend. So and then so about how many pips that? It's actually huge, 100 pips to the downside. So yeah, so it's a bit. I'll do position size. It doesn't really matter, and test it and enter a position. And if it goes and breaks up, then that's good. I'll average up and add some more. If not, if it decides to go to the downside, then I may close it earlier or just let it take my stop.
All right, whack it in, please, and then put it on the forum. Okay,
Okay.
the photo and whatnot. But execute. All right, next, Anthony. Okay, sounds good. All right.
Okay. Ignore. Well, I looked at the dollar CAD. We'll look at the higher time frames first. Higher time frames, looking at 10 years worth of data. I actually pulled all the way back to do this one. So on the monthly chart, overall as a downtrend. Drew my trend lines as such, but as it relates to this moment, basically overall it's a downtrend. Monthly, going down to the weekly chart, looking at 3 years worth of data. Drew my trend lines from here to here, downtrend line. So I think this is what I'll be using as my primary downtrend line. Uptrend line here, secondary uptrend line technically, and then a tertiary uptrend line right here. Secondary downtrend line on the weekly has been breached as of 2 weeks ago, and then last week was confirmation that forming I suppose it's a weekly chart, so medium-term uptrend at the moment. Weekly chart current bar is on the sellers are in control. And then moving into the daily chart, not exactly a M2 setup, but looking at this particular formation, I can zoom in a little closer to you. So just do that. It was a indecision doji, not the perfect M2 setup, but it's in the overbought area, and breakout of the secondary downtrend, still obeying the primary downtrend as it relates to the weekly chart. So I believe that this is a retracement to the downside for this new uptrend. Price to beat will be right here at the 1.0. Well, first it will have to be this one right here, 1.091. Actually, let me do this at the 1.0102 level, and potential to go up all the way up to here at the 1.023306, and it has what is the term? It's convergence with the downtrend right here. So I would plan to target this one. May want to consider opening up a position pretty soon for here. Looking at the Fibonacci's, it has reached the 3.82 fib level, and not getting close to the 50, but after it touches that, likely to continue to the upside. So this will be a M1 trade on the daily chart. Any questions or feedback?
M1 trade?
Yes. So I'm looking for stabilization right here and then trading to the upside.
Got it.
Okay, so you're going long.
I'm going along, correct.
So is it going to go enter now? Are you going to wait? So what's the plan?
I think I'm going to wait for this one, but I do like what Ann was, I suppose she's going to test it, test out the position. Since what I see right now is that, if this was an M2 setup, the fib, it already breached the 38. And that's when it's pretty close to the 50, so it might be worth to open up a position to go long.
Okay, so let's think about this for a minute, right? Yeah, it's good to test. So what's your viewpoint with the dollar index?
Oh, you're right. Dollar index is it's to the downside. Yeah, so dollar index is the viewpoint is that it's going to continue to the downside at least to the 79.3477 level.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it breached the uptrend.
Got it. So now if N is going long with the pound against the dollar, then why do you have to go long with the dollar against the CAD? Then now you're against the flow.
If N is going long, I suppose that's true, but I mean, looking at this chart, though,
is it ready, though?
Is it ready to go long? No, not entirely.
Exactly.
I suppose it would be worthwhile to wait.
Yeah. Where would be the best price of buying?
Best price of buying, I would say, is right around here at the 99.71 level. It's close to the 61% level, 61.8% level. So it's a pretty significant demand level right here. So I would ideally try to get in here.
Cool. So what can you do then? Right now.
You could set up a mechanical order.
Bingo. All right, sweet. That's a solid plan, right? Okay, feedback for Harry.
For me or for Anthony?
I mean, I beg your pardon, for Anthony. Yeah, sorry. It's getting too late.
Okay,
It happens.
Yeah, solid.
Solid. Okay, cool. Anne?
Yeah, just be aware of the direction of the DXY. So what you see in the direction of DXY reflects with the dollar CADs because it's a dollar-based. Yeah, just be careful with that. So. Yeah, but apart from that, it's pretty good.
Nice. All right. Next will be Harry.
Okay, I'm doing the euro dollar, so I'll do top down analysis. So it's only at the monthly chart, the highest time frame. So just in recent times, we've clearly cut bulls in control. Nice push up from the 21.30 all the way up to the 35, and pushing higher. Currently bulls in control. All blue, just no sellers at all over the last 6 months. Also an M3 to the long side. It's broken this secondary downtrend line, and looks like it's pushing up towards to touch the primary downtrend line somewhere sometime, perhaps around the 140 area. We can never tell, but for all intents and purposes, that's the direction that's heading, and heading quite quickly. Fallen to high low from this point to that point, so it didn't take out below the previous doji set back in June 2010. But didn't make a higher high as yet. So once it gets up to this downtrend line, then it's going to make a decision either to push on further to down and to test the secondary uptrend line. Overall, since 2007 has been a downtrend, no highs, no lows, but it looks like it's a short-term uptrend looking to break that downtrend and move higher. Heavily overbought. But has been overbought for some time in the past and continued to go higher. But looking to stabilise at somewhere, sometime at the supply area, to have a bit of a breather, to come and test the 8 and 10 all of these uptrend line before prices decide to move on to the upside to test this downtrend line. Looking towards the weekly chart, and it's more of the same, so higher highs, higher lows in recent times. Broke that secondary downtrend line that was on the monthly, so I'll just get rid of that to clean it up. And what we have now is the primary uptrend secondary uptrend line, and it's actually moved away from that. So it's actually more of a steep curve on the tertiary uptrend line. Sellers in control at the moment, but it's actually a very small candle at a supply level. It's been at this level in the past, around the 134.80 area, and just above that it will be the 135.40 area. So it has stumbled here in the past. So looking to, first of all, just short it to swing trade it as it's heavily overbought to the downside, just to retest this secondary uptrend line or the 8 and 10, and then get back in at some form of stabilisation or confirmation back to the long side to touch this downtrend line that was discussed in the monthly. So we've had 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks of higher highs, higher lows. No real test. The only lower low was back here on the 29th of December. Previous to that, it's been pretty much on the uptrend line, just short-term stabilisation before continuation to the uptrend. On the daily chart, so looking for the short-term swing trade and then reasserting ourselves back on the long side in line with the overall uptrend that's performing in recent times. So we've got, this is the previous low, lower high, lower low. So if it does retrace at current prices, then 134 would be the area, so something like 100, and just over 100 pips. So the previous, so the next point of supply would be that 135 area there. 40 area, so there's a big gap between the 8 and the 10, also this tertiary uptrend line. So looking for prices to run in this thing to show some confirmation that prices are going to take a bit of a breather before reasserting itself to the upside. So buyers are still in control, but a very tight doji, so looking for some form of indecision before either sellers coming in on buyers take the price a little bit further up. It is heavily overbought, has been for some time. It was in the past, but then it just had a short-term correction with stabilisation before a continuation of the uptrend. So looking for prices just to have a bit of a breather, catching the downswing before reasserting themselves back to the long side in overall, in line with this overall trend in the upside. Any questions with you or John?
Okay, what would our plan for this then, Gary?
Well, considering it's on the daily chart, so I'd like to wait until the daily chart finishes just to see some form of confirmation, just because there's so much buyers being in control for such a long period. But even now, it's very tight, doji decision. So it's forming to be short-term swing trade very soon.
Oops. Hello? Is it? I think it's my computer. Hello? Hello? Is it me?
No, we can hear you.
Yeah.
We can hear you.
Oh, so is it Harry?
Me?
Could be.
Oh,
I think his sound dropped off for like a quick little second.
yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the plan, please, Harry, again?
Just wait to the end of the daily charts just to have some form of confirmation.
Okay.
There is going to be some form of correction because buyers have been in control for such a long period of time, and this big chart had a slight red and has continued. So I just want to see some form of stabilisation at a supply level. So it could possibly go another 40 pips before we see some form of correction happening.
Okay, cool. Feedback, please, for Harry.
The fib. Is that the correct fib where you drew it from?
Well, that's the previous low. Lowest low. I mean, not the low line. That's the last swing, right? And that's the current high. You disagree?
Where was the next low? Like from the high, where's the lowest low from the high? So if you look at the lows, right, which one's the lowest low of those
This one's the lowest low.
those candles?
This one is.
That's the previous low, right? So what's the one higher to that? Because if you look at your recent candle and look at the lows, you need to see which one's lower or lower compared to the previous low. So if you start from the highest candle, have a look at the lows. Yes. So is that low lower compared to the previous low? So if you start from the top, if you start from the top candle,
Yep.
okay, have a look at your lows.
So you're saying this one?
Yes, so that will be the first one that needs to break, and then the second one would be, where would that be?
Here.
Okay, that's where it should be, if it breaks that low right there.
That's that line.
Yep.
Confluence. Okay, well done.
No worries.
Anything else?
But apart from that,
Any
very good.
feedback? Have you guys seen anything? Questions, issues, challenges?
So I'm sorry. What is the intention of this trade? It's to short it to the fib level.
Swing trade. Swing trade against the current uptrend.
Okay.
When the time comes, right?
Correct. It's just not ripe just yet.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Cool. Be keeping an eye on that one too. Then.
All right, perfect. Okay, let's go through to our famous trade. Okay. So what do you think we could have done differently?
With what?
With Mr. Euro trade. What could we have done differently?
For me, what I can see is that we could have traded it on a shorter time frame as a day trade. Instead of looking at the daily, maybe look at it at the 4-hour chart. Because if we have a look at the fib retracement, there's actually a couple of fib retracements there and actually hit the first level, and we could have taken profits there. Since overall it's on a very strong uptrend and buyers are very strong, so that would be something different that we could have done.
Okay, so where do you think we could have put our fibs then? Okay, if you're going to go on the 4-hourly chart to look at the fib, where would have been the fib? Starting from the highest point, and if we go through the lows, there's nothing except for this low right there. So even if I put it from that low to that high, the lowest is 120.89. And it would still would have been taken.
But Anne said day trade, so does that mean after a day you close it no matter what?
This is a day trade, right? Based on the 4-hour chart. Even if I go through the bid, actually, what's the price? 123.14. Yeah, we're gonna go through the ask.
Yeah, you're right. Didn't even touch it.
So
Yeah, but hang on. You said day trade, so after 24 hours you close the trade no matter what.
okay, so we looked at the daily. Daily was beautiful, right? And then the price was around this point, and he didn't want to do an M2 formation even, because at that time was pretty solid, right? Nice stabilization, and then the price was sitting pretty much around here, and volatility hit out of nowhere, came up, came down, came up again. Lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, breakout, continuation. So what are the things? What else could we have done? Because over here, timestamp was 6 in the morning. That's 3 a.m. my time, 6 a.m. Pacific Eastern Standard Time, 7, 8 breakout. So if you were in Australia, you would have seen this.
If we draw the downtrend line on the 4-hour chart, it actually broke at about 5 a.m. on the 4-hour chart my time.
5 a.m. your time.
So, yeah, about 5 a.m. my time. So about 4 a.m. and then 5 a.m. started to go back up and see a clear breakout. What I should have done or could have done differently is close my position when I saw that breakout.
All right, close the position is in the breakout. All right, to limit the losses. Okay, great. So that's another alternative in terms of that. But you, Anthony, what would you have done differently? So what we're trying to do here is to find ways on how to better the trade.
Right. Well, I mean, I think it was a perfectly executed trade, so I wouldn't have done a single thing differently. But I usually don't draw the trend lines on the 4-hour chart like as suggested, so I'm definitely going to start doing that. That's a very sound way to determine if it's time to exit a trade. So something, especially on something like this, I think that's great. Like I definitely going to start doing that.
Okay, cool. All right, see here, another one is see the doji, right? Doji. So definitely being a level of demand of 121.79. Well, this is 0500. That is, yeah, 0500 Eastern Standard Time till about 10 pretty much, because it's 9, 10, 11, 12, 1 o'clock already. So, but if we go through on a 1-hour chart based on this low, 6 in the morning Eastern Standard Time in an uptrend. In an uptrend. They gave us 1 opportunity, 2 opportunities, 3, 9, 8, 7, 6. Ooh, flatlined and continued. Okay, so pretty much around here was pretty good. Okay, then in the afternoon, basically stated around here, 1600, 1700. To I said to myself to hold my position, but remember, both of you were there today. Either you increase your stop or decrease your stop to where you want it to be. Right, so that's also the other alternative, right? Okay, so part of that, then please write down in your journals on next time what will be the other alternatives. Okay, other alternative, you just gotta go long, man. Just go with the trend. If you can't beat it, be with it. Okay, so I believe they're going to try and push this to that 123 at something, but then again, anything can happen. So that 123, let me have a look here. 123, almost. So the high of that one, 123.31. So I'm just currently monitoring that 123.21. They're almost there. Here, the high 123.22. So it did break the high of this guy. 120. No, not yet. 123.31. 123.22. So almost. 123.22, 123.19. Part of the bid, 123.31. So what are the odds and probability that they will break this high to create a new higher high? It's just so strong, so powerful. Can't beat it. So now part of that, they push it all the way. They're just testing it a little bit, right? But odds and probability that they will continue to push it is highly probable. All right, so those are three things that basically do. One, stick to the plan. Two, cut your losses short. Three, go with it. Cut your losses short and go with it, or stick to the plan and then go still with it. So there's different scenarios, three different scenarios that basically we can do when something happens once again. Okay, so part of that on the minus 94 pips also based on position size. I didn't put a lot because we're still pretty much in an uptrend. Hence, even though it was in lower supply within the risk, this was less than pretty much 3% or 1% pretty much position size. All right, any questions? Is that pretty much helpful?
Yes.
Cool. Yes, it is.
Nice. Harry?
Yeah, that's pretty good actually.
Okay.
So just sell double or close double.
Yeah. So just, yeah, be with it. All right, then if there's nothing else, well done today. We'll see on how your trades will go tomorrow, and enjoy the rest of the night and in the morning. See you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Adios.
See